Hey guys, and welcome back to K the Bookworm. In today's video, I'm going to be doing my September wrap up, so stay tuned. So I know it's like beginning of October and I should have been did this, but life happened, so I'm doing it now. So I did the Bad Bitch Readathon, and in my TBR, I think I said I was going to do 4 books for the Bad Bitch Readathon, but I only did wind up ending doing 2. And it kind of evened out though, because I did read 3 more books that kind of are like the female characters in the book are bad bitches, so it evened out. So if you want to see what I read, then keep watching. So the first book that I did read, well, I finished reading, was Money Devils by Ashley and Jaquavis. I gave this book a 5 out of 5, and for my Bad Bitch-a-thon, I think I did overall bad bitches, because they had bad bitch, someone who is bad overall, a frosty bitch, someone who doesn't care for anything or anybody but comes around, a silly bitch, which is she does everything wrong, a thirsty bitch who is sex positive and owns their sexuality. And for Money Devils, all of the sisters in this book, Sutton, Luna, Honor, and Ashton, were all the bitches that I described. You had Sutton, who's the oldest. She, to me, was the thirsty and the frosty bitch, because at first she did not care. She's all about her money. And then she comes around, and then you also have that she meets a guy named West, who is in this book, and they basically like her weakness. So the story is kind of like a spin-off to The Cartel that I am going to be doing very, very soon, so stay tuned for that video. And it tells the story of the LeCroix sisters, who basically have this big Republic PR firm, like legitimate business, but kind of on the side they are con artists, and they kind of wrap up into one situation after another until one big situation kind of backfires on them, and it gets the parents of West killed, who is like Sutton's love interest in the book. But then you also have Ashton, who is her baby sister, and she is from Longville the Cartel, and you get to see exactly how she grew up and from Longville the Cartel. In this book, you get to see exactly how she ended up in jail, to meeting me and more, as well as you also get to find out who they're related to in the cartel. So I highly suggest you guys read all 7 books of the cartel, and then Longville the Cartel, and then Money Devils, and then Money Devils 2 that's coming out very, very soon apparently. So I did Ashton a silly bitch, because the reason why she ended up in jail was very, very dumb. I gave Honor, I believe, the bad bitch, because she's just a baddie, but at the same time she is, I think, a thirsty bitch too, because she falls for Wes's half brother, whose name is August. And I think I gave Luna, I believe, look at my notes, I think I gave Luna just a bad bitch overall, period. So I definitely love this book. Ashley and Jaquavis did their thing. I think I read this book in like maybe an hour or 2 from when I got it. So yeah, so Money Devils was my book that I read for my Bad Bitch Readathon. And then I also read for the Bad Bitch Readathon, Cinderella is Dead by Caitlin Barron. I absolutely love this book. I think I rated this a 4.5 out of 5, only because it did have a slow start. It is about a girl named Sophia who lives in a town where Cinderella is from, and 200 years later they have to do a ball, basically kind of recreate of the Cinderella ball, but this time the men have to pick, and you have to live with the man that you pick forever. Sometimes it could be good, sometimes it could be really bad. And Sophia is like, I don't want to do that. I am not wanting to be with a guy. I want to be with a girl named Erin, who she's in love with. In the beginning, they do try to run away, but then Erin kind of backfires, and it's like, you know what, I don't want to do this. So Sophia realizes that she's like, okay, whatever, I have to just do this, keep my mom and dad happy. They have to know the exact story of how Cinderella got captured by Prince Charming and all the other stuff. And then once Avia gets to the ball, she realizes that she can't go through it, and the person that she was supposed to be matched with rounds out missing, and she runs away until she meets the great descendant of Cinderella, and they take back the kingdom. And she gets to also realize exactly how Cinderella got to where she was and why Cinderella is dead. I love Sophia. Sophia is definition of a bad bitch black girl excellence to me. She stood up for what she believed in. She did not care what people had to say, even though her mom and dad at times just wanted her to be happy. And she was like, listen, her mom basically was telling her that I looked up and I hope you looked up too. But at the same time, Sophia was like, yeah, you looked up now, but then there's a person in the book who she doesn't really get close with, but she kind of like has a connection with, and you get to see exactly how bad she got it when she got picked. So thought this book was dope. I love the plot twist, because the plot twist really did get me towards the end of the book. And yeah, so if you haven't not read Cinderella is Dead, I highly, highly suggest it. I definitely can see this as a movie, in my opinion. And yeah, so I really want to read more of Caitlin Barron's book. So Cinderella is Dead is what I read for the Bad Bitch-a-thon. So I was supposed to read This Is My America, and I was supposed to read A Dream So Dark, but I did not get a chance to do that. So hopefully next month I'll probably get to crack those books open and read. But in honor of replacing those, I did get 2 new books by a new author that I just found. She's an indie author named Nicole Falls. And my friend Tiffany, shout out to you, I know you're watching this, period. She introduced me to her because she knows that I am currently writing a book that is about a sports romance. And Nicole Falls, she wrote a sports romance, and it is called Shot Not Taken. And it is a Nyms and Trojan series. So I just got the second book to this Sunday, and I will be doing a October TBR right after this video. So if you see me in this shirt, then I'm doing 2 videos in one day, so that's probably why. But this is the story of Nico. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, Nicholas, but his name is Nico. And he is a big-time basketball player for the Tennessee Trojans. He has everything in life. He feels as if you don't take the shot, basically you're done for. So he lives everything by the edge, and he is going to try to become this big-time basketball player. He kind of started from the bottom, grinding. He was supposed to go to college, make it to the pros that way, but he blew out his knee. So he had to go overseas ways to get back into playing in the States. He has this big tournament, basically like a finals. He's supposed to go to the finals conference, but they lost. And then when he thinks all is well, all hopes is lost, he meets another main character whose name is J.D. Turner. She is a smart mouth straight shooter who is scrambling for her own set of roadblocks. She's a black country artist, or a black aspiring country artist, I should say. And she wants to be taken seriously as a country artist and not as an R&B or contemporary artist. And she realizes that she has a lot of setbacks. So her friend and her friend's boyfriend is friends with Nicholas, and that's how they meet. So I love the 2 version PVO in this book because it really made me, like, it pulled my heartstrings. I absolutely love this book, adore this book. Basically one of my favorite sports romances so far. This is to say, this was my first ever book by Nicole Falls. She hit it on the head. It made me cry towards a little bit of the end, and it just I really did take a lot of like notes and not ideas, but mostly notes of how I want my book to be, because I love like the dynamic and how she does this book is basically how I want to do my book. But my book is going to involve football. So yeah, that's how I want to do it. So I definitely enjoy this book. What can I say? What more can I say about it? The sex scenes in this book were graphic, but it wasn't as bad. Like they talked about it, but it wasn't as like a normal urban fiction book. And if you read urban fiction, then you know what I'm talking about. But I definitely love it. It's definitely something totally different than what I'm used to. So I rated this definitely a 5 out of 5. So yeah, shots not taken. And then to top that off, I also read A Natural Transition, also by Nicole Falls, and this book was dope too. So this book, which I didn't realize until after reading Shots Not Taken, this book first and then this book, because they kind of correlate hand in hand. So this book tells the story of Naima Landry, who is the best friend of Jay Turner in Shots Not Taken. And she is a DJ, and she basically is like, listen, she lives her life on the edge. She realizes that if I see a dude, I think he's cute, I'm gonna have sex with him, call it a day. But then she gets involved with a guy named Landon Good, who is a goody two-shoe type of dude. Basically, accountant. You know, he wears suits, and Naima thinks he's really, really nerdy. But yet, at the same time, Landon basically wants Naima, and he is a dude that, if I want you, I'm going to make you mine. Not in like a bad way, but like, I'm going to pursue you to make you mine. I'm going to show you why you should be mine. And I absolutely love them. I don't love them more as I do Nico and Jade, because those are my babies. I love them to death. But I definitely love this dynamic. Even though it was a short book, Nicole put all of everything and made the book very nice, easy, and flowing to deal with in one book, in this short book, and I love that about her. They did have some funny parts. And it did have some parts that I thought would, wonder if that happens in real life. Probably not. And then the sex scenes in this book is amazing. All I gotta say, if Landon Good, or not Landon, but excuse me, Langston, because he gets very, very picky. I don't know why I'm saying Landon, but Langston Good, if Langston Good was a real dude, I probably would have shot my shot, because he is fine, described as fine in this book, as well as he knows what he's doing in the bedroom. So yeah. But a national transition, by Nicole Falls. I also rated this a 5 out of 5. So yeah, definitely get Nicole Falls books. And then I also read Loreta Little Looks Back. I have a video on this that I'll put in the cards right here. So I'm not really gonna go into it, but it is basically like a three point of view version book. Middle grade of 3 people, Loreta, Rolly, and Angie B. And basically just talking about their times between 1920s to the 1960s. But I do go full out in my book review, so if you definitely want to watch that, then it'll be in the cards, so let me know. And then the final book that I read for the month of September was Grown by Tiffany D. Jackson. All I could say was wow. This book had me so disgusted that I could not stop reading. It tells the story of a girl named Enchanted who wants to be a big time singer, and she goes to this competition where she meets like her crush, Corey Fields. And during the time that she's with Corey, she realizes that I'm in love, he loves me, and she goes, thinks that everything's fine. She's going to help her with her album, help her better with her singing, and her mom and dad allows her to go. And then when she gets on tour, she realizes everything is basically, the grass isn't green on the other side, because she gets a really, really different. He gets different in this book. It is very loosely based off the R. Kelly trials, if you have seen the R. Kelly trials or whatever. And let me just say, like I said, I was reading this book, and probably 10 chapters in, I had to stop and breathe, because this book had me on the edge of my seat. I honestly love Tiffany D. Jackson books. Anything that has to do with thriller. Anything that has to do with thriller or mystery, I'm buying her book. I do have Let Me Hear It Rhyme. I also do have Monday's Not Coming. The only book I do not have of hers is Allegedly, which I do plan to get. But this book definitely made me have some questions. Maybe look at if I've been in Enchanted shoes before, and I have not, thank God. But it really just made me see that dudes are nasty, especially older men who know that what they're doing is wrong. Is disgusting. This book had me so like I said I think I said this in my Instagram. It was disgusting, but at the same time, I could not stop reading it. I think I read this book. I started this book, and then I stopped, and then I just picked it up one night, and I didn't stop reading until like maybe midnight, because it was that good. One thing I do love about it too is there is a scene in the book where I'm not gonna try to spoil it, but there's a scene in the book where a girl who is friends with her go through the same situation, and the girl's not black, and she basically tells the cops, "Listen, Enchanted went through the same exact thing I went through, and you didn't believe her. So why are you believing me? It's because I'm black and she's not, or it's because she's black and I'm not." And I feel as if that scene to me was so important, because there's a lot of girls who do get taken, who do go through the things that Shannon did, and only because of the color of their skin, they don't believe them. Like, I think it was in the R. Kelly scene, in the R. Kelly documentary, and I think it was one of the jurors, and I think one of the interviewers asking one of the jurors, why did you not believe the girls, the girls that was telling the story about what R. Kelly did to them? He said out his own mouth, because they were black. I didn't believe what they said because they were black. And the fact that Tiffany D. Jackson put this in this book made me see that, like, this just was like kind of like made me cry a little bit, because it's the truth. Like, if we go through things, if black girls go through things, they don't give a damn about us. Like, it's kind of sad to say, but they really don't. So this book really put heartstrings on me. I didn't expect to end September like this, but I'm glad I did, because it really gave me awareness, and Tiffany D. Jackson did her damn thing, and I definitely rated this a 5 out of 5 stars. But guys, that is all that I read for the month of September. I hope you enjoyed this video, and like I said before, in a national transition, the dude name is Langston, not Landon. Don't know why Landon is in my head right now, but it's Langston Good. But let me know what you thought of this video. Leave an orange heart if you made it this far, because that's how I know you're a real one. Let me know if you plan to read Grown or Cinderella is Dead, or if we want to get into the Cartel series. Let me know, and I definitely will make that video sooner than later. And also, if you want to know more about Nicole Falls, let me know too, and I'll definitely do like a little video about her as well. So like, comment, subscribe. I love you guys. Have faith, have confidence. Love you. Always, always, always be you. And I will talk to you guys later. Peace.